Welcome to this video where I'm rerunning some of the slides that I ran on my live cast on Monday the 30th of March, which I'm going to be running every Monday, these kind of live casts for really helping people to focus on this difficult time on their own well-being, their own wellness, their own practices, being able to stay kind of focused on important things. So I'm going to run through some of the slides that I covered in the live cast in case you couldn't come to it, so that you can benefit from it now. So get a notebook if you have one. You'll be able to get some insights straight from this live cast video that you'll be able to apply in your life and hopefully serve you to make things more clear and more focused for you on what you're doing and what you maybe should be doing in a different way. So the quickest way for us to really gain any kind of awareness of ourselves is really to ask questions. So I'm going to ask you some questions now which are aimed to increase your levels of focus, particularly in these two areas: health, fitness, energy, and your relationships. So those two areas there, your own self and then the relationships you have, the important ones in your life. So what tends to happen in crisis is there's a kind of focus on the things that we do all of the time anyway, but just more of. So warriors tend to worry more, leaders tend to stand up and lead more. You know, people who are kind of complainers generally, they complain more. So people default back to the habits that they are, doing all the time. Learner, you might take this opportunity to learn a huge amount more through online courses and all of that. So the point is that in this crisis, in higher pressure situations, we default back to our habits. So I see this lots in my clients at the moment where they are, they're business owners and there's uncertainty. They have so many things to do. They have less staff to do it now because they're furloughed. So they basically just get their head down and forget about themselves completely and just try to crank through as much ticking box work that they need to do, deal with this, deal with that, deal with this. They don't have any kind of break or any kind of re-energizing part of that. And what happens then is they start to decline. They become tired, fatigued. They don't even know it's happening. They don't realize it's happening until somebody points it out to them. So what I'm going to give you here is new perspective. What I give to my clients is new perspective about what they're doing so they can see the wood for the trees. And hopefully you'll gain some of that in this video for us now. So like I say, the quickest way to gain any kind of awareness is through asking questions, including questions of yourself. So I'm just going to go through this now with you, so ask you some questions so that you can start to gain some perspective for your own self. So these are the questions I'm going to ask around now, which is about your health, your fitness, and your levels of energy that you feel currently at the moment. So really ask yourself these questions now and score them from 1 to 10. So 1 being, nothing, no kind of energy around this. I have no kind of focus on any of this area and therefore no effect. Or 10 being absolutely nailing this at the moment. I'm crushing it. This is kind of put to bed for me and in good condition. So the areas I'm talking about, the first one is sleep. So think about your sleep. Think now how your sleep last night, this week, as this pressure has come up. How is your sleep? How are you prioritizing your sleep? Are you kind of focusing on that and making sure that you're getting the most out of that? Because sleep is, no argument about this, the defining factor in anybody's health, fitness, energy, performance in any aspect of their life. It affects so many parts of our system. So just score yourself now on your sleep at this point, and I'm going to give you some tips, strategies, tools in each of these areas in this next part once you've done the score. So just write down the 4 columns that you have there: sleep, relaxation, movement, exercise, nutrition, and to the side of it just score your own rating, 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing, and just score it for yourself now around sleep. The second one is your relaxation. So how relaxed do you feel? Again, you're looking for a score now on the level of relaxation you feel in this crisis, this situation that's all going on at the moment. Are you someone who's walking around like an ironing board, who's stiff and rigid with all of the tension and stress you're carrying around in your body, physically, mentally, emotionally, just feeling real pressure? Or are you relaxed? Are you focused? Are you kind of thinking clearly, generating new options, looking ahead, and all of these other things in a relaxed kind of way? So the difference here is, are you focusing on how you relax daily or not? Do you have habits and tools and strategies that you're practicing every single day to maintain that relaxation or not? And score yourself from 1 to 10. 1 meaning totally stressed and not very relaxed at all, or 10 meaning, yeah, completely relaxed. I'm looking forward. It's all good. So just put yourself a score in that area now from 1 to 10. Then move to movement or exercise. Another one of the critical pillars for us to maintain control and balance in our life. So how much exercise have you done this week? Are you doing each week and each day as we're moving through this situation? Number one, nothing. I'm just kind of basically reacting and not doing any kind of exercise. Or 10, yeah, I have a good system here. I'm exercising 3 to 5 times a week, and I'm kind of moving proactively all of the time. And how is that for you? So score yourself 1, terrible, 10, yeah, all over it. And the final then pillar that we're going to talk about now is nutrition. And I don't just mean what you're eating, also how you're hydrating, what you're putting into your body. How is that for you? Are you kind of eating high sugar, lots of caffeine, things that aren't, very good for you? Or are you taking care of your own body and mind through eating healthily, hydrating well? And again, score yourself 1 to 10. 1, not even thinking about it, just eating whatever's here. Or 10, yeah, I've got a plan. I'm kind of moving through this healthy, balanced kind of diet to maintain my energy and my health. So just score yourself there, and you should then come up with some scores that will allow you to see which area you need to maybe focus on most at the moment to increase these effects for yourself. So 8 or above, as it shows on the slide there, is a good focus. Okay, in maintenance, now just keep going, just keep maintaining this and don't drop it. Or below 8 requires some focus from you, and really the requirement to set some new intentions, some new kind of thoughts about how you could potentially start to do some things differently here and just really get an effect very quickly. So here's some ideas for you. Sleep, uh, 8 hours a night is obviously widely recognized now through sleep science, World Health Organization, everybody else, to be the optimum level of sleep that we need in any kind of situation. That's just for normal life. Okay, this isn't about high performing athletes or anyone who may need more. This is about normal people running a normal life. We should be aiming at 8 hours sleep here or there, give or take half an hour or so. So are you prioritizing 8 hours sleep? Ask yourself in your life, are you getting every night consistent 8 hours of sleep? You're prioritizing that. You have a rhythm where, one of the most important things you can do for sleep to rectify and keep this in a rhythm is to set a routine. So you go to bed more or less at the same time. You get up more or less at the same time. Are you awakening without an alarm? Are you feeling energized when you wake up, or are you feeling flat and tired? So how are you thinking about that, and start to think about how you could put in a rhythm of this consistent 8-hour window of you sleeping. I mean, if you're struggling to go to sleep, then start to use other things that might help you there. There's lots of apps out there, like the Calm app that has sleep stories. There are lots of things online to help you with that, but prioritizing 8 hours of sleep is important. The second part I put there, 3-2-1 rhythm, what that means is a rhythm of moving into the period of sleep. So not just working away, and then suddenly expecting to just into sleep. It's about moving into this process. So 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour before, having a rhythm. 3 hours before, don't eat. And what that does for 3 hours before, this is not about starving yourself. Eat normally, but just don't eat 3 hours before you want to go to sleep, because then that just allows your digestive system to have a rest. It's not stimulating your system in any way, and it's allowing it to slow down and relax. 2 hours before, stop work. This means any kind of email, any kind of work that you're doing that may be stress inducing or anything else, just stop all of that 2 hours before you're aiming to go to sleep. And then 1 hour before, no screens at all. So just stop the screens, including television, and use this 1 hour. Think of it as the golden hour before sleep. Use this to do yoga, meditation, stretching, breathing, reading, reflecting, journaling on the day, speaking to your significant others in your life, whatever it might be. But use this 1 hour with no screens as a slowing down, reflective part of easing into this transition of sleep. So those two practices there, if you put them into your life right now, they will have an immediate effect for you. The second thing is about relaxation. This is an area for you that maybe is off balance or below a score of 8 for you. Then two ways that you can start to increase your relaxation very quickly is to learn to breathe, and breathe proactively, intentionally, on purpose, consciously using your breath to relax your system. So diaphragmatic breathing is the best. So rather than nasal breathing, look at breathing deeply from your diaphragm and really starting to put that in as a practice. So if you feel particularly tense, if you were to every hour set an alarm to remind you to breathe, and you just take 10 deep, long, slow breaths, and you don't tick boxes, you do it properly, you'll feel an effect in your nervous system where you start to relax. If you do that every hour of your waking day for 10 hours or even more throughout a day, you'll over 1 to 2 days feel an instant, immediate, dramatic effect in terms of your relaxation, your ability to relax. So breathing, fundamentally important. Really good resources out there. Look all over online. I have a YouTube channel. You can look at me teaching some breathing. There's a book called Breathology, another book called Just Breathe. There's so much resources out there. People think, oh yeah, this is common sense, but it's not common practice. People don't intentionally use their breath to keep this relaxation and focus. You know, it activates your logical part of your brain so you can think more clearly rather than emotionally. So the second thing then to really increase this feeling of relaxation is learn to meditate. There's so many reasons for you to learn to meditate. This is unequivocal. You know, the most successful people in the world all meditate. It's not an accident. And there's so many ways for you to enter into this state very easily. You can use the breath. Again, so much online. One amazing resource is the release meditation technique, which if you just type that into YouTube, it's Brendan Burchard's release meditation technique. And there's a 10-minute little part of him speaking, explaining the benefits of meditation. And then there's a guided meditation with powerful music that allows you to really deepen your experience of meditation. But do yourself a favor, set yourself a challenge for 30 days and do it every single day. Because until you've done that, you haven't really tried it. Because different things happen when you meditate after 1 week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. Another level of experience, another level of effect starts to happen, and you can't know until you've had that experience of at least 30 days. So use the release meditation technique from YouTube and practice that meditation and be very consistent with yourself and see what you can achieve in terms of helping you to relax even further. The third pillar I've put there then is movement. Okay, I just don't just mean exercise, although this is included. I also mean proactive movement. People are sitting at a desk for hours and hours in one go without moving. Their shoulders are all hunched up, they're feeling all stress and tension, and they're not moving. So again, this is about setting simple practices. Set a timer on your phone when you sit down for 50 minutes to an hour. When the timer goes off, get up, walk around for a couple of minutes. You just need 2 minutes. Stretch, drink some water, reset yourself, refocus on what you're going to do next, and then carry on for the next hour. And do that every hour. There's an amazing difference in terms of your flexibility, your movement, and also your focus and concentration, which starts to dip after an hour anyway. So move every hour is an amazing way for you to start to really have an effect with that. The second thing there is exercise. So 3 to 5 exercise periods a week is what I've talked about here. So this has been proven over time for high performers in studies that they exercise at least 3 to 5 exercise periods a week. It doesn't have to be all vigorous, hard exercise. You can have a balance of cardiovascular exercise, strength-based exercises. There's so much again online with Joe Wicks on YouTube and so many other things that you can do. There's no reason why we don't do this apart from we just allow it to slip. So start to increase your daily movement throughout the day and also your movement throughout the week in terms of releasing tension, allowing the endorphins to flow through exercise. And the third thing I've added here on movement is take a 30-minute walk every day. Depending on where you are and how locked down you are, if you live in the countryside like me, we're very lucky. I can walk around the lanes and the fields. There's nobody about with the dog. So just go for a walk every day for 30 minutes. Now, these practices will really help you in this situation we're in with coronavirus and COVID-19. However, these are practices to keep every day of your life. So a 30-minute walk where you just let go, no screens, just allow yourself to think and just take in all of the things around you is transformational. You start to put these things in consistently in your life. The fourth thing then about nutrition is the two things I've got for you to think about here is 5 portions of vegetables a day and 5 portions each of a different color. If you look at the book, The 4-Pillar Plan by Dr. Ranjan Chatterjee, an amazing book, in there he talks about your gut as a department or as a company. And he's saying that you wouldn't think or expect understaffed areas of that company to perform at a good level or at the same level as a department that was fully staffed. And he's saying that the same thing happens to your gut function, your microbiome, which is directly linked to your immune function and your health, the gut health. He's basically saying if we're not eating 5 different portions of vegetables a day, each of a different color, then I'm kind of understaffing my immune function, my gut function, and my microbiome, which affects my immune system and everything else. So just think about how you can bring in 5 portions of vegetables a day. It's not difficult. You can have a portion of carrot sticks as a snack. You can have some broccoli, mushrooms, beetroot. There's so much that we could do that really help us, and we can bring it into the meals and into snacks. So as I said, nutrition is not only about eating, it's also about hydration. Hydration is super important for our levels of concentration, our levels of focus, but also our general health. So think about drinking 3 to 5 liters of water every day as a minimum, and gauge yourself. People just think, oh yeah, I drink lots of water. Well, how much water do you drink? And if you're not measuring it, you don't know. So think about setting yourself a little challenge: 3 to 5 liters every day of water. A number of things will happen. You become more hydrated, you'll concentrate and just feel much more vibrant and spark in you when you drink more water, but also you'll need to move more because you have to go to the toilet. When you're going to the toilet, you're flushing toxins out of your system throughout each of the days, and also you're encouraging movement. So you need to get up and go. So there's like an interactive effect that goes on with all of these practices and habits if we put them in place in a consistent and a really consistent and thoughtful way. So that's the first part of the live cast really that I covered with the people that joined on Monday the 30th of March. I'm going live every Monday in this coronavirus COVID period to help people with their focus, with their well-being. So if this video and these simple practices have made you think, and I hope you have, and you can take things away from these things, then join me again on Monday. Monday the 6th of April is the next one. This will be 1 p.m. British summer time to allow other people to join from different countries. And I hope to see you there. I hope these videos really serve you. And if you're interested in going deeper into these kind of concepts and into high performance, then I have a high performance group coaching online call through Zoom or a program starting on the 10th of April at 12:30. And again, if you direct message me or get in touch, I can send a link to you that you'll find out a huge amount more about that. So anyway, whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay strong, and I hope to see you again in these live casts, and I hope that they really benefit your life as you're going forward.